Guys, welcome to my videos. So guys, today in this video I'm going to describe my transit experience at Munich Airport Germany, Canada to India. So guys, I had traveled few years ago when I did not have the Canadian citizenship. I was a Canadian permanent resident. So because I had like Indian citizenship, so I was a bit skeptical when I had booked this ticket. I just wanted to know if I needed a transit visa or not. I had a lot of time because I had booked this ticket way back in advance and it was pre-COVID era. So even visa processing and other things were pretty normal. And if you apply from Canada, like it's much like what do you say? The process is much streamlined, I find. So, what I had done, I had emailed the embassy, okay, that this is my status. Do I need a transit visa? To my surprise, I got a response from them in few days where they attached a PDF document and they said the details are there. Although I had described my whole situation, but they just sent me PDF document. But still, I'm thankful to them for responding. So I opened the PDF. So because like I was falling under an exception because I had a Canadian visa. I had Canadian permanent resident. That's kind of permanent visa. So in that case, it's not required. Fine. So I was pretty happy and I was sure. So when I took the flight, okay. So I went to Pearson Airport. I went well in advance. I checked in my luggage. So the first one was like this is a, I would say, a collaboration between Lufthansa and Air Canada. Okay. So although I had booked from Lufthansa, the first leg, I mean from Toronto to Munich, was operated by Air Canada, and that was written on my itinerary also. So I went to Air Canada counter. I spoke to them, and they directed me to right check-in place, and I had provided that my luggage. So because first question they asked me at the counter that what was my final destination. So I said New Delhi because I was going to New Delhi. Then they asked me like, okay, so like how are you going? So I said I'm going to Munich and from there to New Delhi. So they said fine. They asked me to show my documents. So I showed them my Indian passport and my Canadian PR card. The guy who was sitting at the counter took, I think, 2 minutes. He did some verification in the system and he said I was good to go. He printed out my boarding pass. Then I went through security check. I had a deodorant purchased from Dollarama in my bag. The officer took it out and she said, "This is not allowed," and then allowed me to go. She took it. She dumped it. It's okay. The flight was simple, like very peaceful, no issue at all. I had some good passengers around me, and some kids were also around me, so it was very pleasant. And I was speaking to a lot of people in the flight. And then food served. I had like applied for special meals for me, and they were provided to me on time. And I was happy with the service, no complaint at all. When I landed at Munich, I had around 2 hours of time to change the flight. So I was like in a hurry. So when luckily my flight was on time and we were allowed to deboard quickly. So I just deboarded the plane and it was from the same terminal, so no issue. So I just followed their instruction. Like I had the boarding pass for the next flight, and on the screen I could see from which gate it was going. Lot of things you'll find in Germany in German language, but even English was there, so there's not a problem at all. So I went through the security check. They thoroughly checked me, and then finally I was at the boarding, and they did check my document at the boarding time itself. But because I was in Munich already, so they just checked my Indian passport. I was holding Indian passport then. They did not check my Canadian PR card there. And to my surprise, they were following manual process. Then I'm not sure about now. Like the woman who was doing it, she had a list, okay, and that had the numbers. Probably those were the seat numbers. So when I checked in, she put a tick mark to the seat because probably that is something like passenger for this seat is checked in. So she allowed me to board. And from Lufthansa to India was from Lufthansa flight from Munich to India was very much pleasant. And the best thing on the flight was like they had Wi-Fi on board. But again, you had to pay it. But instead of spending time on plane doing nothing, I took Wi-Fi. I mean, I purchased Wi-Fi. I could purchase on screen, and then I really enjoyed. I connected WhatsApp, and I was messaging all my people, and I was checking on Facebook as well. and I had some good co-passengers around me. One German woman who was like a nurse, so she was like talking a lot about her experience. So it was good journey altogether. And then I reached India. It was smooth. So because I had Canadian visa only at the and I was going to India, only at the source it was verified. I mean at Toronto it was verified, but once I was in Munich, they just checked my Indian passport. But yes, if they want, they can check any document they want to that you are supposed to possess. So you don't have to worry about it. So this was my experience, pretty simple and excellent. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel.